Greetings, golf fans, and welcome to Golf Center. I'm your host, Daniel Cort, joined by
Heather Carlsberg.
Heather, good to see you again.
Great to see you.
Got lots of news to cover. Let's get right at it.
All right. This last weekend, 15 women's college golf teams were at Hilton Head for the second annual Darius Rucker Tournament at Long Cove Club. Spanish native Nael Jimenez, a sophomore at ASU, won the individual title, as well as Alabama took the team event win. Darius Rucker performed a private concert for not only the players and the coaches, but also this area here. We had all of our guests be able to get to come, and that was at the Art Center of Coastal Carolina.
What a cool thing. Alabama wins for the second year in a row. All these girls get to come out of their environment, come down to Hilton Head, spend 3 days, play Long Cove.
The best course
and then
in
get
this
a private
area.
concert from one of the top recording artists in the country. Does it get any better than that?
I don't think it does.
Well, and
I don't
again,
think so.
Coach McPotter, who was the ladies coach and men's coach when I was at Furman, he's like the Dean Smith of ladies college golf. He's clearly built that Alabama program back to the national power that it once was. So kudos to those guys. They won their second, the trophy is a guitar. And this was their second one. Mick Potter said, we don't even have room for this thing in our trophy case, it's so big. Head pro over at Long Cove, Bob Patton, joked that by the time you guys are done with this tournament, you're going to have a whole band. You need a drum set, you need a set of keyboards. So congratulations to Alabama, what a performance.
It was a great performance. Other teams that joined them also were Alabama, Arizona State, Furman, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, and many more that were there. Next, transitioning into the International Junior Golf Tour. The Shamrock Shootout will be happening at Palmetto Hall Plantation March 16th and 17th. This plantation is known for being Hilton Head Island's most prestigious golf courses. The shootout will be taking place at the Robert Cup course featuring elite junior golf players, ages 10 through 19.
That's exciting. You know, I've got a tournament myself coming up at both Palmetto Hall courses, and I got to say, from service to the golf course quality to the maintenance of the courses, there isn't a finer facility to host a tournament like this. And we do it. I do my tournament there every year just because the courses are a real test, but they're fair, and the staff just does an impeccable job. So these guys are in for a real treat.
They really are. They're in for a great treat. Also staying with junior golf, we have an update for the Player of the Year. In the girls 15 through 18 division, the ladies of the Junior Players Golf Academy swept board, taking first, second, and third place.
Wow.
Izzy Caveto of Chile sealed the deal by posting a 1 under 69.
Way to go, Izzy.
She did a great job. We're really proud of you. She clinched first place, as well as she was able to take up the Player of the Year points race. Coming in second of Caveto was Anita Yawadia from Lagos, Nigeria. Anita recently won the South Georgia Junior Classic, and she also sank 25 par putts, which was the most in her whole division.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's incredible.
Wow, what a performance.
It's very incredible. And coming in third place was Teresa Casasas of Spain. She recently won the Loudmouth Junior Golf Open at the Patriots Point, as well as Ewan Ferguson, also taking first place for the men's division. Really proud of them, and they're all from the Junior Players Golf Academy.
Yeah, so our old buddy Chris Tremblay, Keith Bach, you know, we talk about it a lot. These kids have a lot of wins under their belt, a lot of trophies in that JPGA trophy room. And that's Ewan, my gosh, he seems to win everything. He's kind of like the Tiger Woods of junior golf right now, isn't he?
He really is like the Tiger Woods of junior golf.
Wow, what a job.
He's doing excellent. And speaking of Tiger Woods, the PGA Tour TPC Blue Monster at Doral this last weekend. The final round of the WGC Cadillac Championship took place, and Tiger Woods won his 76th career PGA Tour win. Wrapping up with a 19 under, showing the TPC Blue Monster, he was in charge. With 2 PGA wins under his credit for the 2013 season, Tiger Woods is really showing us what golf is up to this upcoming season. Tell me about that, Daniel? What do you think?
Well, you know, all the golf experts and the analysts and the prognosticators, you know, have this debate, is he back or isn't he back? Well, I think he's back.
I think he's back too.
You know, this win actually vaults him way up the FedEx points list. He's actually 177 points behind our former RBC champion, Brandt Snedeker. who was the defending FedEx champion. So Tiger's right on his heels. The interesting thing about this tournament was, and it's pretty well known now.
It is.
He got a tip from his good buddy Steve Stricker, who is really considered on tour by his peers as the best putter. You know, that's the cool thing about golf. These guys are, you know, trying to beat each other's brains in, week out, but they're very open to share information and help each other. Tiger took that tip and used it to wallop the field with his putter. In fact, of his illustrious career, in this particular tournament, over 72 holes, he had the fewest number of putts that he's ever had in his career, 100
Incredible.
putts. And they say when Tiger Woods has got the putter going, it's almost not like a fair fight. He just hits the ball tee to green so well. So I would say moving into Augusta here in just less than a month, you got to say odds-on favorite once again, Tiger Woods for his, this will be his 5th green jacket.
It's incredible.
Well, I mean, a lot of exciting things. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
We've got to take a quick break. Stay with us here on Golf Center. We are back, and I'm thrilled to have our first guest here with us, Pete Popovich, the director of Golf Proformance Academy at Hilton Head. Pete, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. Great to be here. Looking forward to a great show.
Good to see you, old friend. Pete and I have known each other for a lot of years, played a ton of golf together. And Pete, you know, I've gotten tons of tips from you in the past. You're an incredible instructor and an incredible player, and that's a combination. Some guys are great teachers, some guys are great players, but you rarely find both. You certainly have a handle on that. Now, I know that recently you've started some clinics for women, so let's get into kind of what you're doing with those clinics. Tell our viewers how women differ from men in golf in general.
You know, we could sit here for hours and hours and hours and talk about differences of men and women, but as it relates to golf, and I know you've got time restraints on the show, so we'll just narrow it down. But a couple of the simplest differences to note are women have about 20 to 30% less muscle mass than men, so they're often told that they can't hit it as far, but there are ways that we can show them that they can increase that strength very simply, very easily. They don't have to go to the gym 3 days a week, and how they can hit it further. The other thing is anatomically, if you notice, most men, when they hold their arms down straight, from the shoulder to the fingertips is almost a straight line. But when women do the same thing, from the elbow out to the fingertips, women have a tendency for their arms to go out to an angle, and that's referred to as the carrying angle. And what that does is, if you ever heard the term somebody throws like a girl, that's because women sometimes have difficulty in getting their elbow in the proper position. Well, the same thing is true for the golf swing. So if a woman's carrying angle or her elbows point inwards, and as she makes her golf swing, she tries to take the club up to the top. As she does so, her elbow tends to point excessively towards the golf ball, and what that does is it doesn't give her the support at the top of her swing. So if you notice, most women have a problem where their left wrist for a right-handed golfer tends to bow too much because it can't sustain that amount of weight. So what we try to tell them is when they take their swing, in order for that not to happen, is we just try to see the elbow pointed back behind them slightly so that they have the support, they can keep their hands in the right position at the top, and they don't get that bow. So those are just a couple things how men and women differ.
Well, I mean, really good information that I didn't know. So throwing like a girl isn't necessarily bad, even though it still hurts my ego, my fragile ego, when somebody says that to me. Pete, just in general, how do you teach women differently than men? I mean, I know there's different styles, right?
There's a lot of different styles. I mean, you know, that book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, was so popular for a particular reason.
I don't.
But women are generally more visual, and men like to be told more what to do, contrary to popular opinion out there. But women, if you show them how to do something, or if you visually show them how to do something, you do it as an example. And also, women are much more prone to ask for help when they need it. Men, if for all you men and women out there, the husbands, wives, or boyfriends and girlfriends, if you've driven in a car and you've gotten lost, inevitably men will never want to ask for directions. Women will stop and seek out how to get that help and get where they're going much faster. The other thing women are much more better at is rhythm and tempo. They have phenomenal rhythm and tempo, much more so than men. So one of the intelligences used when people learn is musical intelligence, and utilizing that in the instruction helps the women improve at a much faster rate and greater degree.
Interesting.
Very. In fact, as a golf instructor myself, as well as an avid female player, I really agree with everything you just shared with us. That's really knowledgeable information and is so beneficial for myself to hear. So thank you, Pete, for sharing that with us, as well as our lady viewers. I hope that really gravitates towards them and they can see you to apply that. And a way that will be fun to see you, you're doing some mimosa golf clinics. Can you share that with me, what that is and how we'd see you, what we'd sign up?
Yeah, the mimosa clinics we've had a great response to it. And what we found out in the clinics was when we had men and women together, it was a husband and wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, or just general men and women together, was men would tend to dominate the conversations, and women, being as polite as they are, would always nicely take a back seat. So what we did was we eliminated that variable. In other words, we took the men out, and we have a women's only golf clinic that they obviously get mimosas at. But what it does is it allows women to ask those questions that they normally wouldn't ask because they might feel intimidated by somebody else who appears to have more knowledge in golf, or just because they're polite in general.
That's very understandable. Pete, we got just a little bit of time left. How can the ladies sign up for the Mimosa Clinic?
All they have to do to sign up is to call the number on the screen at the Golf Performance Academy. It's 843-338-6737, or they can email me directly at Pete at Golf Academy Hilton Head. There is one caveat that we ask that everybody does is we have a deadline by Friday at 5 p.m. each week so that we know how many people to set up for, and we can make the accommodations to do so.
Well, buddy, it's great to see you as always. I look forward to getting back out on the links with you, and I can vouch firsthand, nobody knows any more about the golf swing, the golf game, and certainly the ladies' dynamic than you. Good to see you again, pal. We'll be in touch.
Thanks
for joining us. That's all the time we have for this segment. We've got to take a quick break. Stay with us in Golf Center.
Welcome back. We're joined by our good friend Chris Hendricks at the Golf Store Outlet. Chris, we're going to be discussing in particular golf shafts and equipment, and can you tell us about that? How can we find what golf shaft is correct to our own swing? Do you mind telling us?
No problem. Good to see you guys over in the studio.
You too, buddy.
Normally, guys come in, they buy stuff off the shelf. They're not really sure if it's what they need. Maybe they see their buddy play it. So when they come into the store, the first thing we like to do is put them on the launch monitor. We put them on the launch monitor, we take a look at some key factors such as club head speed, launch angle, and spin rate. Once we do that, we kind of get an idea of maybe what kind of shaft works for them. Today I've brought a couple of shafts in, some of the stuff that we carry. For instance, first would be the Harrison Star Plus. It's kind of the shaft for the beginning golfer. It's got what's called a low kick point, so it's designed to help get the ball up in the air. It's got 5 degrees of torque, which means it's keeping that club head somewhat stable with the slower swing speed through the impact zone. For some of the better golfers, you move up in top, and then you've got Harrison Striper, their H2 shaft. This one here has got a mid to high kick point, which is designed actually to medium ball flight or bring the ball flight down. 2.8 degrees torque, so it is for the heavy hitters. Basically what we try to do is we try to have the golfers swing some different shafts, and we basically go and look at the numbers and we try to match the numbers up. Then once we figure out what's the best fit for them, we build them a club or reshaft the club. The true test is you've got to take it out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you know, Chris, it just seems that most people are focused on the head, the grip, but really the engine of the golf club is in the shaft.
Correct, Daniel.
I just got fitted for some new clubs, and I got the TP shafts as a lower handicapper,
right?
Which most club fitters are going to recommend for somebody that's at that level.
Right.
But for the average player, is what you offer off your rack, is that going to suffice the needs of an average player?
What we carry will definitely help the average player. Like I said before, when you're buying something off the rack, it's a 50-50 shot that it's really a regular flex, or it's really a stiff flex, or it's really a ladies flex or a senior flex. These companies, they spend so much money in advertising, and you're never 100% sure if the shaft and the club is truly play into what it says it is.
Right.
And that's why we like to get people bring their own clubs in, get on the launch monitor, and then we just compare. And then you can kind of figure out, you can put it on a frequency machine, we can check the frequency of your shaft, and we can see if it's really a regular, stiffer, you know, senior flex or ladies flex. So.
And with that information, how can we also pick out the right grip? There's so many varieties, so many different companies.
Right.
And do you mind sharing with us what companies and what type of grip styles you would recommend?
Not at all, not at all. Basically, when a customer comes in, of course, some people are looking for a specific grip. It's something maybe they've played with growing up and they can't get away from it. Then other people are coming in and they're looking for a weather type grip, a soft grip, a firm grip, something with a cord. I brought a couple examples in today. These are the new Wind Dry Tack grips. We've been selling a lot of these. Everybody's been asking for them. Fantastic feel. Everybody likes the colors. The big thing is they usually come in 3 different sizes. Most grips are in a standard, a mid-size, and a jumbo. The key factor to finding the right grip is also figuring out what size grip you need. What the average golfer doesn't realize, if a grip is a little too small for you, your hands have a tendency to turn over a little quick through the impact, and that could cause the ball to go a little bit to the left. If the grip's too big, your hands have a tendency to not release through the impact until or what's called a late release, which would cause the ball to go a little more to the right. So a big factor is, finding out which grip fits your swing and which grip fits your hand and lets you release the club through the impact zone.
Yeah, and I came into your store.
That's what I heard.
You weren't there, but
I'm sorry. I don't know where I was.
Has it that I actually came in and bought something from your store. I actually got your mid-size and that very grip. Went out and hit some balls, and let me tell you, the results were immediate. The feel of that grip, it's soft, it's tacky, and I got the mid-size again because I've got these little hands with Vienna sausages attached, and that grip is just right for my release point. Yeah, so anybody looking for the grips, the shafts, they got to come see you.
Yes, sir.
And man, that's all the time we got, bro. Good
Always
to see you
a pleasure.
again.
Good to see both of you guys.
Great to see you.
Hopefully we'll see you next week. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us on Golf Center. Welcome back, and we have a really special guest with us. Very special to me. She's actually, her husband Chris and her are the godparents of my little baby. Andrea, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Daniel. Great to be here.
Great to see you. We're actually talking about 2 of my favorite things in the world, golf and theater.
Yes.
You've got Golf the Musical coming to the Art Center. Tell us what that's all about.
We do. This is, the name alone turns heads because people think, what? Golf the Musical. But this is great. We're so excited. We're bringing in 4 actors, all New York, huge resumes. They're so talented. They're going to be on stage just for 5 quick nights. So we need you all to come and hurry and see the show because it's going to be hilarious.
Hi, Andrea. So great to see you.
Hi, Heather.
Great to see you. Can you tell us what is the show about?
Well, it spoofs the game of golf. And it's a musical review, and this foursome of actors comes in and they do a vignette of different songs like Big Bertha and some hilarious songs. My husband's playing around and things like that. So they come in and do a skit, and it's sort of like Saturday Night Live type of format.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be a blast.
Well, and it's a genre that we've been poking fun at for so long.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of comedic element to it.
That's right.
And I've often heard that for some women, golf is like the hyena is to the lion. It's a natural enemy to a marriage because we spend so much crazy time out on the golf course.
That's great.
Would this be something fun for, say, like if the husband is an avid golfer, would it be something fun for him to bring his wife to?
Absolutely. And that's one thing, a lot of the reviews that came out when this show opened in Off-Broadway in '03, a lot of the reviews said, come, even if you're not a golfer, you're going to love it regardless. So, review after review, New York Times and the New Yorker, and they loved it and said that. So even those spouses are going to love the show.
Excellent.
When's it going to be on stage?
March 25th through 30th.
Okay.
And how can they get tickets to the show?
Either call the box office at 843-842-ARTS or go online to artshhi.com.
Great. Well, Heather, I'm really excited to see it.
I'm excited too.
Debbie and I have done some shows over at the Art Center, and
yes,
Richard Feldman and the whole crew over there does just an incredible job. And what an addition to have you now on board. You've not been there that long, right?
Thank you. No, I've been there since December, and I love it. And they're already like my family since, as you know, Daniel, with my daughter being in so many shows there.
We were actually in Les Mis together.
That's right. You held her on your shoulders.
Shout out to my little girl Whitaker. Well, who's not a little girl anymore.
Not
She's
a
a big
little
girl
anymore. No.
So talented, though.
Oh, thank you.
And your husband Chris, who's our quote-unquote usher.
Our usher. That's
yeah,
right.
Well,
exactly.
It's a family affair over there. And again, the Art Center, you talk about the talent that they bring in for these shows. A lot of them from New York, some local. But it's hard to see a production there that lacks in value. I mean, lacks in value, talent, and quality, isn't it?
Right, absolutely.
It's almost like people don't have to go to New York or to Los Angeles to go to these
Broadway
expensive
by the
theaters.
beach, right?
Yeah,
exactly,
you're
Heather.
able to have Broadway right here, and fortunate to see it, and pretty good prices, and
absolutely,
we're excited to see the show. I can't
good.
wait.
And speaking of prices, they're only $39 a ticket,
wow.
So that's really
only $39.
Exactly, that's a price point for everybody. So
that's a little less than your average ticket.
It
right,
is.
for your
I mean,
bigger
we're not
shows.
producing this show, so it's slightly different for us. We're able to lower that price a little bit because we're just, it's 4 actors also, so that helps. But yeah, and you're right about traveling, Heather. You don't have to leave the island to see a Broadway show. It's right here.
Yeah.
So think of all that money you save.
Well, Andrea, you look great as always. You're just
you.
as cheery as ever, and I know the Art Center. How lucky are they to have you
You're
there?
so sweet. Thank you.
Tell the crew back home I said hi.
I will do it.
And that is all the time we have this week on Golf Center. Heather Carlsberg, good to see you.
Great to see you.
As always, and please stay tuned. Join us next week, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.